To Berkete family, he has access to channel. Maybe if he run into you somewhere, he has access to other means of dissemination of information, and then you can see what his thinking is. So if you know what his thinking is, there are some that may not necessarily be correct.
Well, are you worried that what you are saying today, they will come after you?
Who?
People on social media.
I don't care.
Really?
Yeah, no. You see,
they came after you once.
Yes, and has that affected me? Have I not been vindicated today?
Did you think that some people took advantage of Buhari?
Yes.
Maybe because of his sickness or his state of health?
No.
Or you don't think that Buhari's nature?
Because of his trust.
That's who Buhari is.
Yeah. Because of his trust.
He trusts anybody.
No. He believed erroneously that the people he was going to work with, who were acting as first-class psychopaths, were the good people. And therefore, he thought they will translate his vision into reality.
So he surrounded himself.
Yeah, that was exactly what happened. And then, unfortunately, again, he now decided to seclude himself, from those who were capable of giving him good advice to redirect his thinking.
So the cabals took over the government.
I don't want to say cabals. I will say some few misguided individuals who, really put us into this kind of situation. 85% of those who occupy public office today, who went into those offices after taking the oath of office, don't even know the contents of the oath of office they have taken.
So they are ignorant of the office in which they...
Yeah, if you want, you can conduct a research. Stop any senator, stop any member of House of Reps and question him about the Constitution. Ask him and then see what his reaction will be.
So most of them don't even know their duties, their role, and responsibility in which they have been elected for.
They are focused on that duty that gives them an advantage.
And what is that?
Whatever it is.
The Jews.
I don't know.
The money
that
comes out of it.
I don't know. But let me tell you, when you hear executive governor challenge him, let him show you where in the Constitution of the Federal Republic.
No executive governor, no executive president.
Just governor of a state, president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
You can also decide what we'll be talking about next time on Mike On Podcast with Sheon Okinbaloy. Just follow us on the Mike On Podcast on all leading social media platforms and share your thoughts and comments. We are happy to hear from you. Make it a date with Sheon Okinbaloy on Mike On Podcast every Saturday at 7 p.m. as he x-rays issues beyond the regular and dives deeper to depths that allow him bring you answers to questions on your mind. In this podcast room, everything points to accountability, and you are the boss. No one understands how to hold public figures to account like Sheon Okinbaloy. Catch Mike On Podcast live this Saturday at 7 p.m. on YouTube, Instagram, and X. Mike On Podcast for the independent mind.
The advantage of social media is more than the disadvantage. But I'm telling you, the irresponsible use of social media has rendered almost the advantage to nothing. You understand? Because if you build and then you destroy, how does that help you?
So social media is destroying our society.
It is. If I tell you morally, if I tell you the level of moral damage that social media has done to Nigerian society, it's unquantifiable. And everybody knows this.
Should the president of the day be worried about the consequence?
Well, he himself is a victim. I have read somewhere where he said he doesn't even use social media anymore. If it is good, if it's something that is good, why will a whole president of 200 million Nigerians refuse to? Me, I devote 1 hour every day for social media. I devote 1 hour for radio, and I devote another 1 hour for television, just to have an idea. What are the polls outside? How do people see us as leaders? How you understand? And you cannot run away from that. The ordinary man on the street is the man who knows what he feels, how he feels it, and then the effect on him. And if you don't listen to him, he doesn't have access to you. But he has access to Berkete family, he has access to channel. Maybe if he run into you somewhere, he has access to other means of dissemination of information. And then you can see what his thinking is. So if you know what his thinking is, there are some that may not necessarily be correct.
Well, are you?
This week brought a storm of headlines, fueling debates, controversies, and global curiosity. Stick around as we unpack the biggest trending stories and commentaries. 15 gig is trending after MTN raised the price of its viral data plan from 2,000 to 6,500 naira, which is a 200% hike, far beyond the 50% increase approved by the government. The move sparked outrage, especially as the hot deal *121# option was also removed. However, following public backlash, MTN has now reversed the decision. Initially, Top Gun on X says there is no way for the average Nigerians to grow in this country. The 2,000 naira for 15 gig that we were managing is now 6,000 naira. Tell me, how does one save in all of this? Femi on X says MTN really feels say I go pay 6k for 15 gig. Chapo also says MTN increasing 15 gig price from 2,000 to 6,000 naira is the most brutal thing. Why did they do that? Two-Face is trending after politician Natasha Osawaru-Gbinedion accepted his marriage proposal. Reports claim she initially rejected him out of respect for Annie Dibia, but a viral video confirmed her acceptance. Blogger Stella Demoko Kokos also alleges that Natasha is pregnant, adding more controversy to the story. Deborah Negg says Two-Face has proposed to Natasha. This particular news is so shocking to me because on the 27th of January, this man made it known to the general public that he and Annie are getting divorced. Now, in less than a month, he's already proposing to another lady. Make it make sense. Theo Abu also says our brother Innocent Two-Face sang for all the women on our continent. And some people think they can box him into staying forever with one queen forever. The goal is for him to marry as many African queens as he can before he joins his Otukpo ancestors. Meanwhile, Dr. Penking says Two-Face and his new wife Honorable Natasha all loved up. I love the way my man is prioritizing his happiness over what people will say. Nedu is trending after announcing his exit from the Honest Bunch podcast following allegations from Very Dark Man. VDM accused Nedu of scripting fake stories and using his platform to manipulate narratives, even claiming he exchanged intimacy for stardom. The controversy began after D1's podcast remarks, but VDM shifted focus to Nedu, threatening to expose more names. Amid the backlash, Nedu has now stepped down from the podcast. Abbas on X says Nedu resigns from podcast gay. This Very Dark Man gets power. V1 also says VDM is manipulating everybody. Nedu is innocent. Nothing must happen to Nedu. Mr. TC says never play in a gutter with a man who has nothing to lose. People still don't understand that Very Dark Man is a different species of social media influencer. No ads, no gigs, no promos, and you still want to play clout chasing with him. Nuhu Ribadu is trending after slamming Canada for denying visas to Nigeria's defense chiefs, saying Canada can go to hell, but it's painful. The officials were set to honor injured soldiers, but key figures were rejected without reason. Ribadu called it disrespectful and a wake-up call, while some Nigerians are celebrating the denial. Femi Fani-Kaude on X says, at last, we now have an NSA that has some balls and is prepared to stand up to foreigners that treat our people with contempt. Nuhu Ribadu was right when he said the Canadian embassy was being disrespectful by not granting visas to some of our military top brass, including the Chief of Defense Staff who were scheduled to attend a formal event in their country. He also told them to go to hell. Proud of you, Nuhu. The days of foreign governments kicking us in the teeth and getting away with it are long over. FS Yusuf says Canada say them no go give visa. Now by force, can't you people connect online? Must you travel to Canada? Nuhu Ribadu, no sleep since last night. That's a wrap. Stay tuned for next week's trending stories. Power moves and tough decisions defined this week. Atiku raised concerns over Nigeria's health budget, Rivers State lawmakers gained full control, and Ganduje backed President Bola Tinubu for 2 terms. Tax reforms stirred debate, Southwest governors launched a security force, and the CBN cracked down on ATM limit. Meanwhile, the 2025 budget hit a record 54.99 trillion naira. Here is a breakdown of the biggest stories from this week's top headlines. This week begins with the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar warning against the mismanagement of Nigeria's $1.07 billion allocated to the health sector in the 2025 budget. urging transparency and accountability. He cautioned that the funds must not suffer the fate of past misappropriations where money was allegedly swallowed by snakes, monkeys, termites, and gorillas. On Tuesday, the Supreme Court dismissed Rivers Governor Fubara's suit against the 2024 budget representation. Following his withdrawal, Governor Fubara must pay 4 million naira to the Assembly and Speaker Amewule. As it stands, pro-Wike lawmakers can now resume legislative duties. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, the APC National Chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, urged northern politicians eyeing the presidency in 2027 to abandon their ambitions, affirming that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will serve 2 terms. His statement, seen as a response to former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai remarks, reinforced the APC's commitment to power rotation between the north and south. Ganduje stressed that Tinubu's leadership must be supported to complete ongoing reforms, assuring that power would return to the north after 2027. On Thursday, the House of Representatives advanced the tax reform bills to the second reading following intense debate on contentious clauses, constitutional conflicts, and ambiguities in key provisions. Northern lawmakers opposed double taxation and inheritance, demanding revisions. While the House upheld the Nigeria Governors Forum stance on VAT sharing, it rejected tax hikes. The bills were then consolidated and forwarded to the Finance Committee for further review. On Friday, Southwest governors met in Lagos and agreed to form a joint surveillance team to tackle insecurity and create food hubs to curb inflation. Chaired by Lagos Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, they condemned e-swap threats and urged stronger security collaboration. The governors emphasized the need for proactive measures to safeguard lives and property in the region. Attendees included Governors Ayedatiwa of Ondo State, Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State, Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, Ademola Adeleke of Osun State, and Biodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State. Also trending this week, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has warned banks against forcing customers to withdraw less than 20,000 naira per ATM transaction, threatening penalties for violations. It urged affected customers to report such cases and advised using own bank's ATMs or digital payments to reduce fees. To wrap this week's top headlines, the National Assembly passed Nigeria's 2025 budget at 54.99 trillion naira, nearly doubling the 2024 figure. Initially proposed at 49.7 trillion naira, President Bola Tinubu later raised it to 54.2 trillion before the lawmakers approved the final amount. The budget prioritizes infrastructure, social programs, and debt servicing amid economic challenges. And that's a wrap for this week's top headlines. Stay tuned for next week's edition.
In this edition of the Mike On Podcast,
The conversations gets even bolder. This week's edition of the Mike On Podcast comes with Isaac Fayose, a social commentator and younger brother to the former Ekiti State Governor Isaac Fayose. Known for his bold takes and strong social media presence, he was a vocal voice during the 2023 elections. Isaac Fayose bears his mind on politics, national issues, relationship with his brother, and personal identity. Join the conversation as Seun Okinbaloye leads it today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mike On Podcast. I'm Seun Okinbaloye. Today, I'm joined by a guest whose voice echoes in Nigeria's social and political discourse. Isaac Fayose is the younger brother of Governor Ayo Fayose, the former governor of Ekiti State. He's also a sharp-witted social commentator known for his bold insights and engaging commentary. Over the years, he's carved out a distinct space on social media, particularly on Instagram, where his thought-provoking critiques and relatable content have earned him a significant following. Isaac Fayose was especially vocal during the 2023 elections, using his platform to shape conversations on national issues. I'm hoping to get on a ride with him into his world to get his views on pressing national issues and how he blends his views on politics, social commentary, and personal identity. So sit back, everyone, relax, and let's get the conversation started. Thank you so much, Mr. Isaac Fayose.
Thank you for having me.
Your brother, Governor Fayose, I'm fond of in interviews with him. It's always calling himself Oshoko. Jollof rice. Do you also have some kind of attributes or accolades for yourself?
Well, no, not really. I'm not a politician, so I don't need all the.
He will tell you that I'm the only sitting governor that has beaten an incumbent twice. And he will also tell you that he's Peter the Rock.
Yeah. Oshokomole.
Oshokomole. So are you an Oshokomole too?
No, I'm not. I'm just Isaac.
How are you? It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I mean, what makes a Fayose tick? I mean, there's Isaac Fayose, there's Isaac Fayose. And you guys seem to have a similar trait between both of you.
I don't know. I think it's because our father is very bold. So I think we got that from our dad.
Oh, yeah.
Fearless, he was a fearless man.
Interesting. But what happened? It seems you are, you and your brother seems to have disagreed. What happened?
Because of Ekiti politics, number one. My brother is supporting Governor Oyebanji, and I don't think Governor Oyebanji is doing anything. So I don't see why I have to join him to support Oyebanji. And I have another brother, we are 4 boys, that is contesting for governor, Otumba Fayose. So I'd rather stay with my brother than to follow my other brother to Oyebanji.
So there's another Fayose who wants to be Ekiti governor?
Yeah, that is campaigning now.
Wow. What party is it?
Oh, it's in PDP.
It's in PDP. But you are not, you are...
No, I'm not a politician.
But you remember you supported Labour Party in the 2023 elections.
Yes.
You are an obedient.
How can I say? No, I'm a Hajib, any government in power, and any good candidate out there. You know, Peter Obi happens to be my family friend. And I love his 2023, I love 22. You know, I love the things he's saying, how to fix Nigeria. So I just said, wow, this guy can do the job. Let me work with him.
So you thought that Peter Obi was the best candidate as of the time?
Yes, 2022. So I said, no, I'm going to follow this man. You know, I started by, first of all, donating 20 million. Later, I gave them my hotel in Ibadan, the Ibadan Obedience. And from there, it's just coordinating. I coordinated Ibejuleki, Etiosa, and all that for him. So,
but a lot of Obedient actually thought Peter Obi won the election. Yes. Are you one of those who believe so?
Yes, because if you look at the results, you know that as a dirty game on that. I think we won that election, but unfortunately, the judiciary said we didn't. So,
INEC said in the result that the APC and President Bola Tinubu won that election. So at every layer of the litigation, it came out that President Bola Tinubu was affirmed as a winner of that election. I mean, does that not show you enough evidence that that election was won by President Bola Tinubu and the APC?
According to INEC, yes, but according to me and what I saw before and after, I believe we won that election. But unfortunately, INEC said no, court said no, so we moved on. So
yeah, Peter Obi didn't even come second; he came a third.
Third.
Yeah,
that's true. Third.
So how could he have won? I mean,
well, if you look at
your own estimation
in Lagos, we got about 600,000 plus. I can't remember what we got. Well, I think we got over 1 million votes.
You think? I mean,
Lagos.
Peter Obi won in Lagos. Definitely
with little
margin,
but that's not the real margin. Lagos, I think we won with about 800 to 1 million votes.
Margin.
Margin.
So, I mean, if you won, just like Kwankwanso, the NNPP candidate, won in Kano, could he have said, oh, because he won gallantly in Kano, does that mean that he won the election?
Well, remember, Obi wasn't from Kano.
No, I'm saying that you were in Lagos and Peter Obi won the election in Lagos, and you think that because what you saw in Lagos, now relates or translates to Peter Obi winning the election. Don't you think that that may be misplaced?
No, because if you look around, look at the North Central, look at Plateau State, look at how many days it took them to declare the result. Look at Abuja. Abuja is small. Normally by 2 p.m., we normally get Abuja result. It took them 3-4 days to declare Abuja results. So a lot of underground hanky-panky has gone into, manipulation has gone into it. But it's gone now. They are 2 years into going to the third year. So we've moved on.
But you seem to, at some point, you started having some kind of narrative that seems to be that you are truly Ajib, any government empower you. You now started speaking in favor of President Bola Tinubu.
Yeah. After declaring the result, say, okay, this is the winner. I think the best thing to do is for us to come together because we don't have any other country. So I said, okay, now that they are the one in power now, we need to at least calm things down and let people calm down because obedience then, they are not happy. The whole thing is, they're not going to declare him, the court will remove him. So no, let us have a stable government for now till court says otherwise.
But let's go back to Governor Isaac Fayose. This was a man that you take pictures together in public. But there are those who believe that your relationship has really gone sour. Recently, that you don't even talk on the phone any longer.
Yes.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, we blocked each other.
Why? Why would you do that? That's your older brother.
Yeah, well, he's my older brother. But what happened is my brother, the one I'm after, Otumba, that is contesting for Ekiti governor now, about 8 years ago, he said he contested for House of Rep. My brother said, no, step down for my son. 12 years ago, he tried to contest for House of Rep. My brother said, no, step down for my son. Now he said, I want to contest for governor. You are saying step down for Oyebanji. I think that's selfish. And I approached my brother. I said, listen, you can't be doing this to your brother. Your son is still 20-something years old. So they still have a lot of time. Allow him. But he said, no, I'm for Oyebanji.